After 1 year of aging, how dandy is our Dandelion Mead?
This is 17%. And the dandelions were sent to us by Fawn, one of our VIPs, because they apparently don't grow well in Florida. I know, it's weird, but they don't. And a year ago, I don't remember being too thrilled with this. I remember it was kind of meh. It just wasn't all that great.
But on the scent, I'm getting some pleasant things. I'm getting a honey note. It's almost a bochet honey note. It's not.
I get a little bit of a caramel note.
Yeah.
Not a lot. Not really smoke so much.
No. And I'm getting a very slight floral earthy thing.
Definitely floral earthy, totally. Color-wise though, it's beautiful, nice and clear. You can see right through it, no problem. So overall, so far, I'm kind of impressed. Let's take a taste. It's sweeter than I remember. That's nice.
Age has done this well.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
I said to Derek just before we started, I hope this got better. I wanted this to be amazing right from the start. And I would say it's there.
It does some interesting things to the palate. And I worded it that way on purpose. My dad sometimes joins us and he has some really interesting comments and insight. And one of the things that he said is that it made his mouth happy.
It made his tongue happy.
Right. And that's kind of what's going on here. It's like there's this tingly, sparkly, almost... I'm
not seeing tingly, sparkly, but I'm trying to get other things. Go ahead, put words to it. You can do it. This is the hard part of tasting, is it tastes good. Isn't good enough. We need to describe to you the sensations, the feelings, because everybody feels it a little bit differently.
For me, in the mouth, while I'm still swirling around in there, it has a nice creaminess to it. But then when I swallow, I'm getting more of the astringent tannin thing going on. And it almost tastes like something that I can't describe, but something that's familiar. So I'm like, what is it?
Okay, to me, on the entrance, it's very much a traditional mead. It is a honey mead. Honey forward, very typical honey characteristics. I'm pretty sure we used an orange blossom for this because I'm tasting a little bit of the citrus notes. Not that that's a bad thing. I'm just describing what I taste. The floral aspect starts to come through towards the middle. Get a little bit of that mixing with the honey character really nicely. Somewhere halfway through the middle, I start to get the tannins and the mouthfeel, and it gets this nice, thick, viscous, like almost drying effect in your mouth. Then I get the acidity that I can only imagine is coming from the vegetal notes of the dandelion itself. It comes through with a little bit of an acidity. I get that mead bitterness in the back of my throat. Yeah. It goes down, and then I get a honey and that astringency as the finish, and it lasts a long time. It's on the exhale and everything. Really, really wonderful stuff.
Initially, my brain kept saying licorice, and I don't like licorice. Brian doesn't like licorice. It's not licorice. I don't know why my brain kept saying that. But as Brian was talking and I was going through the different layers and what was occurring, that tingly thing that I was talking about, if you have a cinnamon-based candy, the way it affects your tongue where it gets kind of like that fiery but not really
it's spicy
sensation.
But sweet.
Yeah, that's the aftertaste I'm getting from this.
I can see that. It's not quite the same thing that I would describe, but
no, it's not
I see what you're
exactly,
saying.
but that's the closest parallel I could come up with to explain the sensation.
I'm impressed. I was a little afraid. When she pulled this one out, I don't remember liking that one very much. This, what I would call this a metheglin though. This falls into my wheelhouse. And I would have to say, in this case, it tastes more like a traditional than a dandelion. I don't really get too much dandelion from it. Oh wait, we used dandelion honey in this too. We did, from Joe Woodward.
It was dandelion all over.
Yeah, this was dandelion honey with dandelions in it. So where's this citrus coming from? Must just be a floral after note. And that's the funny thing about tasting. You'll taste things that are not there. And that's why we don't like to go back and say, oh, what did we put in this? Because now you're biased. Your brain, once you know, your brain knows. If you forget and you just have no idea, you can make things up because that's what you tasted. Your brain will fill in the blanks when it doesn't know.
It reminds me of a lot of the other tea-infused meads that we've made.
Yeah, this is tea wine and my traditional mead put together.
Yeah, yeah. Exactly.
That's exactly what this is. It's got a lovely combination of that.
And I remember when we were initially making it, I'm like, oh, dandelions would be awesome. Because there's this long history within my family, within history in general, of people utilizing dandelions for food, for beverages, for teas, for tinctures.
That's why I wish they grew here.
All sorts of things. And now, in the modern days, it's just been discarded as this useless weed when it has so many good uses. It's just kind of weird. And so when Fawn went through all the trouble to send this to us,
She told me what she did. It
was
a
super
huge bag.
excited.
I mean, she sent us the petals, and it was a bag like this. If you haven't seen the video, go watch it. It's amazing. She did it. She went out of her way to send this.
Yeah, I'll put that in the description.
So glad
below
this
so
worked out. I believe we still have more of it left. Pretty sure we have.
So I'm super stoked right now that after a year, it was totally worth the wait, and this is definitely a yes. Here,
this
try
is in my
this.
Top
This
15.
This is good.
This is in my top 15 of all time.
And what's interesting to me is it's definitely more a Brian beverage, as it has more of those methicillin notes that he really enjoys. But for me, it's like riding the border of a drinker and an experience.
Oh, really?
Drink. Like, I'm enjoying the experience
Guess I
of
need
it
more to find that
because
one.
it's different than anything else we've made, though it has similarities to a bunch of things that we've made, as we've already discussed. But it's not overly complicated. Like, my brain doesn't get stuck trying to analyze it.
No, I mean, it's an
like,
ogre,
oh.
but it's not a big ogre. You know?
It's a petite ogre.
Yeah, it's a baby ogre. It's got some layers, but the layers aren't super discreet. How's that for a description? It is a traditional mead that has floral and some vegetal overtones with a little bit of an earthiness and a nice acidity and astringency. That's the easiest way to say it in one sentence.
Yeah.
It's just good.
Go
I hate to
Team
say
Dandelion.
that, but yeah, this works. I'm actually really impressed because I remember when we were making this and I remember tasting it the first time and it was a little bit of a disappointment, you know, and that's never fun, especially when we do it on camera because I don't know how much you guys realize how little scripting we do. Like, for real. We didn't taste this ahead of time. We didn't smell this ahead of time. We didn't know what to expect. It could have turned to vinegar for all we knew.
This is the prep we did for this video. I looked on the calendar and go, oh, the 1 year for Dandelion's coming up. Let me go find that.
Yeah, and we did that on purpose.
That was the prep.
That way you guys get the real, like, what was our reaction? You know, we don't fake that. It's for real. This actually turned out pretty awesome. I'm kind of impressed. For a simpler mead. Now, when I say simpler, it's not like my metheglin, my spice metheglin. Very complex, lots of layers. It's a huge ogre. It's an ancient ogre in dragon terms. It has so many things going on so many levels. The sweetness makes all those things work. This could be less sweet, actually, and still work, which is a little surprising.
I'm pretty happy with the sweetness level.
I'm not saying I'm complaining. I'm just saying it could be, and it'd still be good. This is a little bit on the sweet side. I'd have to be careful, me personally, when I drink this one, but I like it. I like this a lot.
Numbers.
Yep. One thing I want to say is this has a neutralish feel to it. Like you could have this with a wide range of food pairings.
Oh yeah.
And it would be fine. Anything you do a white wine with, this would probably work. White into the rosés and pinks would be totally acceptable.
I think it has enough oomph though that even some things that you would typically pair reds with, it would still work. It's
powerful. This has got some aggression to it.
It's not a wussy drink.
I would never in a million years think this was 17% alcohol. It tastes like 10.
Yeah. This
you don't taste the alcohol.
This might reach out and grab you.
This is a sleeper.
If you're not careful.
Yup. Yeah, and I've had like a couple nice samples of this, but hey, you know, it's all good. Okay, so we got to put a number on it.
Yeah.
All right, our scoring system for today. 1 means something you'd probably just dump. You wouldn't want to drink it. Below 1 is probably unfit for human consumption, although a 1 would be questionably fit.
Yeah.
Just saying. 5 means I would drink that. It might not be the first thing. Well, actually, it wouldn't be the first thing I would choose. It would be the last thing on the shelf. If I only had 1 bottle left, I would still drink it. Below a 5, I might not even drink that one, okay? A 10 means if I had a whole bunch of bottles, that's probably the one I choose, okay? So a 10 is great. Perfection is objective, so we don't like to say perfection. We did give an 11 on something, so, you know, ours goes to 11. What can I say? With that said, I think I have a number. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
1, 2, 3,
8.5.
I'm always just a little bit higher than
just can't get there, but hey.
On the sweet stuff, though, she goes higher than I do.
Now, why did I knock it down to an 8.5, which, if you know my scoring, is hardly knocking it down.
She's rough.
I am rough. I am brutal.
An awesome score from Derica.
I'm a mean person. It's really lovely. It's shockingly lovely, and I think my score might actually be slightly elevated from what I would normally give it because I was anticipating badness. I will be honest with you. My initial impressions, or more importantly, my memories of my initial impressions, and memories are fickle, so you can't trust those guys. Was that this
somebody's gonna go watch the original?
Was not good. Now, not only is it good, it's mighty fine. Thank you very much. Is it Viking Blood 2020? Is it Klingon Blood Wine? Is it
It's no spice.
the Franklin good? No, but it's still mighty good. So 8.5, I was comfortable with that, but I really don't have anything that I want to say negative about it. Or
it just fails by comparison.
Or that I want to add to it. I'm just going to drink this and be happy. So,
to add to what she said, basically, I'm in the same boat. If I was to put any negatives to this at all, it's that on that 3/4 note in the back of my throat, it's just a little bit too astringent. Just a touch vegetal, okay? And that vegetal thing bothers me. Ever since the bad capsaicin I made,
it bothers me big time.
I don't like that, okay? It's not horrible, don't get me wrong, but it's enough to take it from a 10 to a 9. That's it. Even a 9, even from me, a 9 is a good score.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, I'm rather generous with my numbers, but I would drink this all day, every day, no problem. My biggest issue with it is got nothing to do with its flavor, its taste, or anything like that. It's that it has a little bit too much sweetness in it, and I think that'll hurt me to drink too much of it. So I couldn't go super high, although my spiced metheglin is like super uber sweet, so I should probably just throw that out the window. But that is a part of my score. To me, I looked at it and I said, compared to some others, this was superb, but it wasn't quite perfect. And I said it was in my top 15. I would actually say this is probably in my top 10. So it's moved up a little bit. So don't take my score as a negative, take it as a positive. It's actually really, really good.
Yeah.
I would like it to be just a touch less sweet, but my fear is if it was less sweet, would it be more vegetal? So
yeah,
there's that. We may have to revisit the dandelion someday. Somebody just recently asked me if I wanted a batch of dandelion. Maybe I'll have to write them back and say, yeah, I'm not sure yet. We have so many other things to work on, but this came out so good that it kind of makes me want to try again.
Yeah, so in synopsis, if you live in an area where dandelions grow like weeds, and you want to take the time to pluck its petals before it turns into that gorgeous poof ball that brings us warm, fuzzy childhood memories, do that, make this, and be happy in a year.
Absolutely. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching, and have a great day.
Bye-bye.